Of course we keep on going, though everybody know it. The truth about our way, we tied it loose ends up, I'm sorry. Be cool, go on and fake it. We still know we will break it. We make the same mistakes we always made, and now let's face it.
Oh my goodness gracious. I haven't ridden this thing in a long time. I don't think I've ridden this bike since I filmed that last video. Kind of get reacclimated here with how to ride a motorcycle. I'm gonna head out and find a cool spot to ride around, and then I'll come back and we'll start this video. Oh, they fenced this off. Shit. That's a bummer. I'm not even sure how to get around it. Oh, well. Took way longer to get here than I wanted it to. A bunch of roads are closed and gates are shut and things are locked. Thing is, like, over there is like, you know, they don't want people over there because there's a canal, so they shut that off and shit. But like over here, I don't think there's any issue riding here. It's hard to get to this point because of the access. Anyway, let's go in here and rev up this engine. So what's been going on? After that last video I put together, the next weekend I just didn't feel like I had anything to talk about, so I thought, well, I'll skip a week. I just won't make a video. And then that 1 week turned into several weeks. It just ended up being sort of a hiatus. It's like, I don't know, I get tired of doing this sometimes. Like, I mean, making videos is fun and stuff, but having to come up with something every week is sometimes you just feel like you're not inspired, and then creating it isn't satisfying anymore, because you're like, well, I'm just going to throw something together that I know is bullshit, and people are going to watch it, and like, they might be able to see that it's bullshit, or they might not care, I don't know, but I didn't feel like hammering something out when I didn't feel motivated to do it, because I didn't feel like it was going to give me satisfaction, and I didn't feel like it was going to come off to everybody else as something that I worked hard on. So there are a lot of rabbits. I just saw there's two up here. I just saw two back there. I gotta slow down, because if I hit one of those, I don't know how to tell anybody where I am. So yeah, I don't know, man. This is like my third year doing this now, and I think every year I've ended up having to take a break of some sort. This is the longest break I've taken, but it's still a break nonetheless. Normally it's about a month of not uploading, and I never announce it. It just happens, and then people usually email me and ask if I'm alive. And yes, I'm alive, and I'm still going to be making videos because I like doing it. I have to want to do it. So yeah, I don't know, I just didn't feel like doing any vlog videos, and I couldn't really do any camping stuff because this summer we've had some fire restrictions in Arizona, and I know I can camp and not have a fire, but I've been hoping on making that like a steady part of my videos. It's like starting fires and cooking on them and stuff. So I just thought it's a good time to take a break, because it's also really hot, and when it's really hot out here, you don't always really want to come out and ride. Right now it's 9 o'clock in the morning. It's probably 90 degrees out here, and it's definitely going to be over 100 today. This is a spot that I have not found before. And then the thing is with camping is like, it's the best when you really feel like you need it. You know, when you camp all the time, you kind of lose the feeling that it gives you. You know, it's supposed to make you feel rejuvenated. It's supposed to make you feel relaxed. And then when you do it like every month, you kind of go into it and you're like, oh yeah, this again. You know, you lose that specialness. It loses that special feeling, and I guess that's maybe another reason I haven't gone out and bothered to camp or film anything. But we'll get back to it soon. This year I've got some AdSense money saved up from the sticker sales and from the AdSense, but I think I might spend it on just some random stuff to use. Like I want to do get like a tarp shelter and maybe try some tarp camping, and I want to get a fire steel and maybe some other bushcraft style supplies. Try to do some more basic types of camping just to switch it up. I feel like I've been need to change something, you know. Like I've been using the same tent the whole time. I've been using the same sleeping bag the whole time. I've been using the same motorcycle the whole time. Everything actually is basically the same all the time. It's just the vlog that's different. Somebody once said, and I really like this comment, something like we all know the notes you're gonna play. The trick is how you play them. And I thought that's true actually, because like I always do kind of do the same thing, but every time you see it, it feels different. There's another bunny rabbit. Come on, bike, get up there. Oh man, so what have I been doing? Yeah, instead of filming and writing, I actually haven't ridden this since that last video I made. Instead of doing all that, I've just been hanging out with my wife, trying to find new hobbies. But just bought a canoe, and so we took that out yesterday for the first time. That was pretty cool. We both been wanting a canoe for a long time because we both really enjoy it, but just never really had a chance to store one or had a place to go. And now, even though we live in the desert, and everyone laughs about that when you think about canoeing or kayaking in a desert, we actually have rivers here, and we do have lakes, and those lakes have dams that create rivers and other lakes. So there's a lot of spots you can go, and we're gonna start kind of exploring them. I might make videos about that. I don't know. I haven't decided. Definitely have to get a better GoPro case though, because mine has a hole drilled in it for the microphone. So I wouldn't want to jump in the water with that on. But yeah, yesterday was pretty eventful. I haven't been canoeing in years. We ended up going to Canyon Lake. Supposedly a spot you can canoe, but there was way too much motorboat traffic on that lake, and the wakes were massive. We almost flipped once, and then we both kind of got panicky and decided to put it back on the truck and drive up the road further and see if there's another spot. It turns out there was. There's like a little cove where everybody else was actually kayaking and canoeing and stuff, and so we went over there. Kind of went up the stream a ways, and there's a spot where these kids were cliff jumping, so we stopped and kind of went for a swim. That was pretty fun. And then something crazy happened. This group of guys showed up who had hiked to that spot, and they jumped in. And the first one who jumped in just jumped in and started flailing around, and I, you know, and the initial instinct is not that somebody's drowning. It's always like, well, they jumped into the water, they're probably just screwing around. His head went under, then when he came up, he yelled that he couldn't swim. And I didn't know what to do. I was way too far away to really get to him in time, but his friends jumped in to try to drag him to a rock. And I had life vests because I was by my canoe, so I grabbed a life vest and I ran over and I jumped in. By the time I could swim over to him, he was already on the rock, so he wasn't really in danger anymore. But he said he jumped in to face a fear, and his friends were like, "What, you can't tread water?" And he's like, "No, I can't swim at all." So I don't know if he led his friends to believe that he could swim, or even what he thought that was gonna happen, because if you can't swim and you jump in water, you drown. That's how that works. So anyway, I offered to take him back to the side where his gear was with my canoe. So I paddled over to went back to my canoe. I paddled over and let him hold on to it. When I brought him back to his spot, he was saying he couldn't wait to tell his mom that he almost died that day. I told him at least it'd be better if he had a video to show her, but nobody was filming anything. Even if I had been filming, I don't think I would have got it. But he told me he's going to stick to football instead of swimming, and I said, "Oh, you play football?" And he said he played for the University of Arizona. So it's pretty cool. I'm not going to say his name, but someday if he becomes famous, I get to brag about it, that I partially saved his life. I didn't save his life, but he really didn't have a way to get back to where he started. So if I hadn't been there, it would have been more difficult for him. But yeah, let's see what else is happening in my life. Got some stuff I'm going to do to my truck. I think we're going to make some videos about that, just some maintenance stuff, and I don't know, we'll have fun with it. Sometimes I think people just want to see me and hear me talk and tell stories and stuff, and I think that's true, but I feel like doing it on the motorcycle is the best context because I just have the best audio quality, and when I'm riding I can just let my mind wander and I can just ramble, and I can just, it's a good format, you know, and it's almost like, it's just easy. And if I'm working on my truck, it's harder to do it like that because I don't have a mic directly on me, and I got to talk to a camera, and I'm also trying to like focus on work, whereas here I'm just focusing on cruising around. Yeah, the truck is good. I'm still not comfortable with the way it handles though. It feels like it's got a little bit of a wanderiness left in it, and I know that lifted trucks handle different, but I want to try to tune this out as much as possible because I feel like if anyone else ever had to drive it, they'd have a hard time feeling confident at highway speeds. So I've got steering rack bushings that I've ordered, along with sway bar bushings and end link bushings. So all of those are going to go in, and we'll see if that changes the way it handles. I'm expecting it to. I'm also gonna put a camera under the truck on the steering rack, like facing it, and then I'm gonna drive around and have a camera in the cabin too. And I'm gonna kind of compare the movement of the wheels and the steering wheel, see if they're different from each other. And I'm also going to see if the steering rack itself shifts around, because if the bushings in the steering rack are rotten, the steering rack can move, and I'm wondering if that's what I'm actually experiencing, because it happens suddenly. Like, it'll just be cruising along, maybe hit the brakes kind of hard, and the truck will just feel like it's turning on you, like it's turning, like it's pulling right, and it's not the brakes, because it just happens. Like, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't happen, and I feel like under certain stress the steering rack might be shifting to the sides. So the parts aren't that expensive. It's like $65 for all the bushings. So we're gonna get up early as hell because it's gonna be really hot, and I'm gonna go out there and rip it all apart and film it. So hopefully that's enjoyable. Are you serious, man? What is it with people and fences? All I want to do is go to that hill over there, and I have to fucking fence this off. I don't even know if I can get back onto that hill from here. It's a pretty long update video probably, but hope you guys enjoy it. I'm enjoying this. This is a really nice ride. It feels good to get out moving again and just rip on this throttle and have this bike just launch you down the road. And I was doing 75 earlier. It was great. It was great. Just 0 to 75, baby. Sometimes I feel like this bike is slow, but if I don't ride it for a really long time, it just feels like heaven. Feels like it is just fast enough. This is where I took my my Crown Victoria to do some donuts back when I had that car. The car sucked. No, I'm just kidding. The car was awesome. I've always liked Crown Victorias. I think they're badass. They just have this air of like utility and power and just indestructibility. And the police ones are kind of sitting higher, and they just look like you could jump them off a bridge like the Dukes of Hazzard and they'd be fine. You know, it's just an all-around tough looking car, and I love how they look, but it had baggage, dude. Like, people stared at that car, people drove slow around that car. It was kind of scary driving it because you felt like somebody might mistake you for a cop and shoot at you. It was sketchy. It might be fun for like a race, you know, like a gambler 500 race or something. Let's see what else is new that I can talk about. Oh yeah, so the job interview that I had, didn't end up getting that job, which I think I said, I don't know. But I got another interview, and that job I did get. It's the second time I've had to like quit a job that, I mean, I've quit jobs when I was younger doing like, you know, minimum wage shit, and that was never a big deal. Nobody really cared because you were kind of a dime a dozen. You weren't that hard to replace. But like when you quit a job that like somebody has trained you to do for over a year, you feel like a dick. Like, I spent a year with this company learning their ways and learning how they draw stuff, and because we did fabrication drawings and stuff. That's kind of what I do. And I don't know, man. You just feel like a dick. Like I feel it's definitely a good decision that I left because the pay is the same, but the job is much better, the people are much better, the benefits are much better, so it's just an all-around good call on my part, I think. But I just hate that, you know, it's like some people will write a letter of resignation or whatever and just hand it off, and I hate doing that because it's like breaking up with a girl with a text message. You don't do that. You gotta sit down and you gotta tell somebody face to face that you're breaking up with them. You know, and after a year of employment, it feels like you're in a relationship with these people and you gotta like break up with them. You know, and I think on a personal level, my boss doesn't really mind. He's like, yeah, whatever, you're doing what's best for you. But, I mean, he basically spends a year training a guy and then the guy leaves. It happens over and over. And I think that company has its issues. You know, it's not a place you could grow at. It's not a place where people seem friendly. Everybody there kind of seemed like a dick. Like they were just mad all the time, or like they weren't mad all the time. It just seems like there's a lot of pressure from project management onto my department's boss, and then he would transfer that pressure onto us. You know, and then it puts everybody in a shitty mood because like either the company was so slow we all thought we were going to get laid off and we couldn't be seen talking to each other. Like that was actually an issue. I was in the break room, well, not on break, just getting some water, and I stopped and talked to a guy for about 5 or 10 minutes, and I got in trouble for it. It's like I don't want to work for a company that treats its employees like that. I know that you think, yeah, I should be working, you know, but the guy that reported that knows the company didn't have any work at that time. Like I think it's inappropriate. I don't think it's a good way to treat your staff. Especially staff like me. I came in early, I worked through my lunch, and I stayed late to get stuff done because either the company had no work going on and we all thought we were going to get laid off, or we had so much work we were behind. And I think a lot of people have businesses like that, but like it's one thing to have that kind of environment and like at least acknowledge that, hey, I know this scheduling is fucked up, but this is how it has to be. It never was acknowledged. People just kind of acted like if you didn't get it done, you were fucking lucky to keep your job. When things are good for the company, you feel like you're going to lose your job, and when things are bad for the company, you feel like you're going to lose your job. It's not a good spot, man. It was a shitty job. Not to mention, most of those guys weren't getting paid all that much. I was brought in at a higher pay rate because I was actually hired to do a different job there, but they ran out of work for me. So I went to this other department, and I was actually getting paid more than those guys were. I don't know. What do you think about quitting jobs? How does it make you guys feel? It's something I think is just feels shitty, and there's no like, it feels awkward to like walk around and even say goodbye to people because it's like, yeah, I didn't tell you 2 weeks ago because it was awkward, and now I'm leaving, so I have to say bye. I don't know. I'm pretty sure somebody at that company probably watches these videos. I'm sure the IT department's aware of it. I don't know how all that works these days. If the IT department like actually like actively views what you're doing on the internet, or if they have a security software that flags the management if something suspicious happens, or they think you're going to, or if the program thinks you're going to websites that are a waste of time. I don't know. But while I was at work there, I listened to stuff on YouTube like all day. I just go on there and put on podcasts like the Joe Rogan Experience, and then like other comedians and stuff, and get a lot of material from that actually. Get a lot of ideas. Listen to motovloggers sometimes, and I would do it all while I was working. You know, or if I felt like I had to concentrate more, just turn it off. But I used it as a radio, basically. It's a long-ass update video. That reminds me, I should probably get out and take a picture of myself. I want to start taking more interesting thumbnails. And whenever I'm out filming, that's like always the thing I forget to do. I'm always like, shit, I gotta get a thumbnail. And if I'm camping, I can usually pull it from one of my pretty-ass like slider shots and stuff. But when I'm out like this, I usually end up having to take a screen grab of like something I'm doing here, and I like to take the ones where my hands are up because it looks like shit's going on. I want to try to get a picture of the bike. Maybe make this video a little more eye-catching. Since most people, I wonder if people are even going to come back and watch this shit. They're going to be like, oh yeah, I gave up on that guy when he stopped uploading for a month. Somebody brought a Jeep through here or something. See, I could probably come back here and camp. Definitely probably do that. I just don't know who comes out here at night and fucks around. You know, you see these tire tracks and it could be some meth head coming out here to smoke. Like, this isn't exactly a difficult place to reach if you're exploring on a four-wheel drive. And it seems like somebody knows about it. Okay, I think that's enough. I don't know where this goes. I guess we'll just go down here and I'll keep rambling. If I've kept anybody this far into the video, I think you should win a prize. What that prize is, I don't know. Oh shit, that Could be bad news bears. I would hate to bring a truck through here. Yeah, I'm getting out of here. Going back. This is gonna be sweaty and hot. I want to go home. Ugh. I'm gonna go home and edit this. How about that? That's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. Hey, I love you guys. And remember, I do have stickers available. There's an eBay link in the description. You can buy. Oh shit! Hurt my knee. You can buy a sticker and support me. And then I'll buy stupid shit like tarps and baby sacks, and I'll make more cool videos for you when I go out and camp in ways that I'm not comfortable with. It'll be awesome! Also, I want to save up and get some Sennas so I can do some dual vlogs. I could spend my own money, but I'm just cheap. I'm always like, oh shit, I should wait until I get the AdSense money. And then when I get the AdSense money, I don't remember what I wanted to buy. It's like I need to buy a power socket for this bike and install it so I have a way to like charge stuff or even plug in like an air pump or something. I don't have anything like that.
Say a weekend and the weekend never stress a thing. And we gon' go another